I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I want to blame white women, but I can't even blame white women. It's more than just white women. It was everybody, okay? There's so many factors, there's so many, like, moving parts to why this failed, why we failed. And it's not just white women. They're a huge part of it, but they're not the only ones. I think that would be the easy route if we blamed white women only, but it wasn't. It was Latinos, Asian Americans, leftists voting for Jill Stein. Just so many moving parts to this. And now look, the crazy orange man is back in office. I truly don't know what else to say. And let me just say this. I'm taking it personal. If you voted for that orange man and we are mutuals or friends, anything, delete me and block me. Delete me and block me. Don't talk to me in real life. I'm so serious. Trump supporters will always say, I hope you don't hate me for the person I voted for. But the person that they voted for hates me. So what does that say about you? Why? And when the grocery prices, inflation, the economy, affordable housing, and like rent prices and stuff like that, when that doesn't go down and it gets worse, who are y'all gonna blame then? Trump supporters. Who? Okay, listen, as much as we want to blame or shift blame on to Latino voters, we also have to put a little bit of the blame or part of the blame onto Asian American voters, specifically Korean Americans and Vietnamese Americans who voted for Trump, because Asian Americans are a large margin of the population. And I had made a video about this a couple weeks ago talking about how I read an article that Kamala needed a key demographic to win in Georgia. And that was a Korean American population in Georgia, specifically in Gwinnett County, because a lot of them live in Duluth. And in that video that I talked about how Asian Americans typically vote Democrat, but that was steadily decreasing since 2020. And a lot of that has to do with translation, language barrier, and education. A lot of them just don't know how the economy works and really shifted a lot of the economic blame onto Biden, because a lot of Korean Americans, have their own business. And I think that's one of the key reasons why she lost Georgia, why Georgia went red, is because the Korean American demographic in Georgia ended up voting for Trump. But also the Vietnamese American population have been Republicans for a very long time. And we also have to factor in the fact that Vietnamese Americans make up a large portion of the population in America as well. There are a lot of factors into why she lost, and I think we're also forgetting another key demographic, which is Asian Americans. And yes, while the Latino American vote was substantial in how this ended up turning red, we also have to factor in the Asian American population. I think a lot of people are not talking about that, and how a lot of them ended up voting Republican. And unfortunately, a lot of this is that a lot of Asian Americans center themselves around whiteness. Like, they want to become white, assimilate into white culture. They think that if they vote for Trump, that they're going to be a part of that, right? And it's not. He doesn't even like us. And I just need us and Latinos to get out of the mindset and decentralize ourselves from white culture, because we will never be them. We will never be them. We will never even be close to them.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I hope that you're doing fine wherever you are today. This is a presenter, Ginger Stories, and I'm here gonna be talking to you about something that I know right now it's happening. And it's been a gloomy 3 days. People have been sad. People have been talking about this because this is something which has been happening for quite some time. Marks the third day or the second day since Trump was became the president of the United States. I know how people feel, some people, but what I'm afraid of is something which is right now starting to happen. People have started blame games. Group A is blaming Group B. Group C is blaming Group F for not voting for person C and voting for person A. Well, one thing that I've noticed is that this election was one of the most unique elections. I tried to look at the past election and I saw like different demographics. Like there was so much different people have their own different objectives. Black men, black women, Hispanics, white people, different people. Because you find that we have a group of white women who voted for Kamala Harris. We have black men who voted for Trump. We have black women who voted for Trump. Right? And for me, I feel like we don't need to blame these people because they voted for what they thought it was right. Right? At the end of the day, I'm not saying Trump is good. I'm not saying Kamala Harris is bad. I'm not saying Kamala Harris is good. I'm not saying Kamala Harris is bad. Because both of them, they have their weaknesses. And they have proved to people that they have their weaknesses. So for me, I believe that people, honestly, voted for some policies that they feel like will favor them. For example, Palestinians, they voted they want the war to end, right? Some people also voted they don't want immigrants in the country, especially legal immigrants. Some people voted because some people are cryptocurrency holders and they see to it that when we vote, we're gonna make money. So I feel like whether you're a black man, black woman, Indian American, Asian American, name it all, people voted because of the policies that they believe that will favor them. Like it's trying to weigh between A and B. Which one favors me so much? People say that, oh, it's B that favors me so much, so I'm gonna go with B. In as much as some people might feel like, oh, they're betraying other group of people, they're not doing well for other group of people. And I know some people are sad about this. Some people are celebrating this. You know, some people are jubilant. Some people are gloomy. And it's all expected to happen because it's okay to mourn for the loss that has happened to, and sometimes it happens. But what I'm just trying to say is that let's not be divided at this point. In as much as we voted for policies that we want, that we feel like it's good with us, let's stick together, especially black people. This is the time that you don't need to be divided. Say we voted, a mistake happened, it never went well the way we wanted. Now let's go back to our business. Let's do what you're supposed to do, right? That's all I could say in the introduction of the video. I hope this video finds right. Let's dive right into the video. I'll be back.
Hey everyone, so I took a break for a month or so from making videos because leading up to the election, I felt that the most helpful thing that I could do as a content creator was to just be quiet and not take up more oxygen and attention. But what I want to say is that whatever you are feeling today regarding the election results, be that fear, sadness, anger, that is valid and real because the impact of the election results is real. But if your feelings are leaning towards despondency or despair, today is not the day to give up. Liberation was not on yesterday's ballot. The fight for liberation would not have been won with a Harris-Walz presidency, and so the fight for liberation cannot be lost because of a Trump presidency. We will continue to work to shape the society that we want to live in. And along that vein, Do not wait to tell the people in your life how important they are to you, and hold your loved ones close. If you don't already, get to know the people in your community. Because the fight for liberation is not going to be won on the federal level over the Oval Office. It begins with strong grassroots communities, because we are and always will be stronger together.
I don't really have too much that I want to say, but I will say this, and I have said this before, but you better hope that you never need anything that you're fighting against. And to add to that, you better hope that the person that you casted your ballot for has your best interest at heart. Because some of y'all voted with the mind frame of the enemy of your enemy becoming your friend. Some of y'all voted out of spite for other demographics of people. I seen the reasonings to why some of y'all wanted to pick a certain candidate, and it had something to do with other people. And it's not to say that these people had any negative impact on you outside of the fact that you just don't like them, but they were your reason for voting for a certain person. And some of y'all are still stuck on a stimulus check that you will never in your life get again. We got that because of the pandemic. COVID is still here, people are still getting sick, and you're still not going to get that stimulus check again. So if one of your reasons was voting for a certain candidate in hopes that you get that stimulus check, I just want to let you know that you are not smart and you're broke. Let it go. When I say what I'm about to say, I'm not being a smartass. I'm not being funny. I'm being serious. If you ever need what you have fought against, be quiet. Be quiet. You knew what you were doing. You were fighting against it, and you only care now because it has something to do with you. And if you voted for somebody and this person was elected, and you know that they have a track record of being a bad person, you know they have a track record of making bad decisions, you know they have a track record of not having a good morale, when they start doing their bullshit, take it up with them. And take it up with the other people that voted for them too. Because everything that's bad about them was put on Front Street, and people yelled it at the top of their lungs, and y'all did not care. So no, don't come crying to us. Don't come crying out loud. Cry to the people that decided to put that person in office. Last but not least, do not try to find a way to lean on black women. We are not your crutch. Y'all are big girls and big boys. Figure it out by yourself. That's all I have to say, and that's all I will say.
I think very few people outside of black women can actually empathize with the feeling of never being enough, but also simultaneously being needed to do everything. How am I supposed to feel empowered to go into these workplaces, go into these schools, go into these spaces, no matter how qualified I am? It doesn't matter. Like, do y'all see that? It doesn't matter. We can talk properly, we can press our hair straight, we can have a sterling background and education, we can surrender ourselves to the public for consumption, we can give out our medical records, we can give out our intimate records of who we've been with and what we've done, and it's still not going to be enough. Historically, black women have been at the forefront of most revolutions and civil rights movements in this country, but let me tell you something. Mentally, I'm checking out. Do not call on me to walk on any protest. Do not call on me to speak on anything. I was already having my foot halfway out the door with supporting movements, and being instrumental in change. I'm sorry, baby. After that vote, y'all made it very clear. You like to have your foot on our necks, but then turn around and have us march in line. I'm sorry, no. And everybody who didn't vote, stay quiet. That's what you're good at. Stay quiet. You didn't have an opinion yesterday. You don't have an opinion today.
If you're a woman wondering what to do right now, I can tell you, but I'm going to have to say it in a little bit of a code. Ready? It's time. It's time to go get one. Go buy one right now, as soon as possible. Make sure you know how to use it. Take a class. Keep it locked up away from your children. But if you're a woman, especially a black woman, especially a woman in a red state, if you are a trans man or a trans woman, go buy one. Go and get one. It's time. And I don't care what state you live in, blue or red, because the rhetoric around women is about to take a nosedive. Because permission has been given. This election went the way that it did on the basis of misogyny and misogynoir. The only thing you can do now is protect yourself. So go ahead, get a license, and go buy one. You need to protect yourself and make sure you keep it on you. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. And while you're out, you might as well pick up a vibrator as well. That's the other thing we're gonna do. We're gonna batten down the hatches. Okay, ladies? Shit just got real. This is not a joke. If you're in a red state, you need to batten down the hatch. Okay? It's 4B. It's 4B until you get your rights back. Because the men have told you what they want. And frankly, the white people of America have also spoken up. And this is what they've said. And so you need to make your own conclusions as a woman. And I'll repeat once again, as a black woman, as a black trans man, as a black trans woman. If you can't protect your rights, you need to protect yourself. I'll have more videos coming about this, but I just had to get this out there. If you're wondering what you're gonna do, that means you don't already know. Because I have a plan, and that's my plan. All right, stay safe, ladies. I love you so much. Mwah.
The Republicans stole the election. There's no way that Kamala Harris lost. Do you hear any Democrats saying that? No. No, I haven't. But that's exactly what MAGA was ready to do if their guy didn't win. No, the rest of us are different. We have critical thinking skills. We can look at the results and see that there are plenty of men who do not like women. We can see many Latino voters who do not want to support their friends and family, who actually want them deported. We can see plenty of women who will vote against their own interests. And we can clearly see the failure of the American education system, which has unfortunately left behind millions and millions of people who just don't know any better, who don't know what they've done. The people in the MAGA cult, I understand their motivations, but it's the people who are going along with this program. Y'all just don't know what you've done. You just don't know what you've done. For everybody else, I have one message: mutual aid, mutual aid, mutual aid. Much love to you.
Good morning, everyone. So I have to make this one kind of short, but it probably should be as long as I can make it because we have some things to talk about this morning. But the pantry, library pantry, it got cleaned out yesterday, and so I have to do a full restock this morning. And typically where I do that the evening before, like I've learned to do, I didn't do it yesterday because I didn't have time. America has made its choice, and America has decided that more Americans than not have decided that they would rather embrace white supremacy, hate, lies, misinformation. Harris ran a good race, and I'm proud of her. I am. I'm very proud of her. And I wish nothing but the best for her going forward. I am afraid for a lot of people. Not so much myself. Maybe it's because when I did that series of videos back on TikTok in the summer, and I said that in the event that it goes this way, you have to have a plan in place. I took my own advice, definitely, because we were putting a plan in place in the event of just in case this happens. Because we read Project 2025 very thoroughly, and we knew what it could mean for black people. I'm a black person. I am a woman. I am afraid for women. I am afraid for children. I am afraid for gay people, trans people, other people of color. All marginalized people. I am afraid. For you. I'm even afraid for the women who voted for Trump and the black people and other POC who voted for Trump. Because somehow you think that you are going to benefit and you're not. I tried to educate, I tried to mentor, I tried to talk, I tried to encourage, I tried to inspire, and then I did my part with my vote to try to help protect you even when you refuse to do it for yourselves. Because I knew that you were ignorant and didn't know any better. And unfortunately, you're about to fuck around and find out, because that manifesto, Project 2025, the plans that it has in store for women, and the plans that it has in store for POC, particularly black people, I don't know what black person in their right mind will vote for a white supremacist who said he wants to give the police full impunity to do whatever they want to do to black people. You have to be some kind of sick. And I can't even be angry with you. I just feel sorry for you. Like I do the rest of us. I do. Because something is wrong with you that you haven't addressed. And you need help. All POC that voted for this man, you need help. But the one thing that is going to come from this is that you are going to see that this man does not, you're going to come to understand that this man doesn't care about you. You were just a means to this particular end. He doesn't care about you. Mass deportations. They're going to stop Latinos and people of Mexican descent, Latino descent. You'll be stopped in the street and asked for papers. Black people, the first thing that they're going to do is those cops are getting rid of them cameras. They're going to go back to locking up your sons and daughters, planting drugs on them and locking them up. Who do you think those supermax prisons that they're building and not so secret, who do you think they're going to put in those? And your vote for Trump won't help you. And then the children, that they don't want to give school lunches to, and that they want to see married, and that they want to see give birth, and that they want to see work full-time jobs, and they don't want to see educated. I feel like America has died. And I don't mean to be negative, but that's how I feel. I feel like America has died. But the one thing that I am very, very grateful for this morning is that my husband and I put a plan in place for this. And for those of you all who followed me for a while over on TikTok, I hope you took that advice and you put a real plan in place. If you didn't, let me give you this advice. Start liquidating as much of your assets as you can. Make sure your passports are up to date at any given moment. There's some places that you excuse me, There's some countries that you can't travel to, even if your passport is current here. Like, say if it's within 6 months of expiring and you're trying to go to some place like Dubai or something like that, you might not be able to get into the country because it has to be current by their standards, not just American standards. Make sure all your emergency contacts, friends, and family lists are in one place. Check your retirement accounts and investment accounts. And I know that this sounds drastic. But Project 2025 is drastic. The Republican Party is drastic. This president, this man, he is drastic. These people are drastic. And some drastic shit is about to happen. I had my suspicions that a lot of people that said, go blue, go Harris, weren't really blue and weren't really rooting for her. And I'm very interested to see those numbers. That's pretty much all that I have. I do want to say one last thing that doesn't have anything to do with this, is that morning coffee chat, we know sometimes they can be a little bit long. A little long. You are always, I encourage you that at any point, because you have free will for now, to just keep scrolling. I promise you it won't hurt my feelings if you don't watch the video to the end. But what you cannot ever do is to control this platform and tell me that my videos should be shorter for your benefit. Seek to control yourself and not others, and it'll put you on a path to being a better person. It really will. Been there, done that. With that being said, if you'd like to support the platform, I'll leave my Cash App and Venmo down at the bottom. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what I can say to make the people that follow me feel better. Buckle up. We're in for a rough ride. And I really do wish the very best for y'all. For us, for all of us. I am praying for our children. I am praying for marginalized people. I am praying for women. I am praying for this nation that never should have become this, but when they did what they did once upon a time, I think it kind of set this in motion. I don't think that there's anything that we really, when I think about it, could have done to stop this nation's destruction, because it has debts to people that it has not paid. And I have always said that until those debts are paid, until they are acknowledged, to the people that were harmed are acknowledged, apologized to, and made whole again, this nation will absolutely reap what it has sown. And I think that that's the happening. Y'all have a good day. Try to anyway.
So yesterday I showed you a clip from this interview. We also know that he will try to invoke the Alien Enemies Act, which would essentially give the federal government the power, the authority to deport, to detain any non-U.S. citizen that they believe is deemed from an enemy country.
And today I want to show you another part of that with a little extra context from someone else's video. So as part of that conversation, she also said this.
What Stephen Miller has also told us is that they are actively designing new militarized giant detention centers where they would pack all these families.
Giant detention centers? Oh, that's just fear-mongering. That's just Democrat hyperbole, is it? I stumbled upon this video. Young lady talking about her experiences trying to date. She went on a date with a guy she'd met on an app, and she wasn't feeling it. The vibes were not there. He wasn't bringing anything to the table. And then, on top of that, toward the end of the evening, he volunteers. I sure hope he wins. And she's like, all right, enough. A day or two later, he texts her with some very interesting information.
And he texted me this morning, and he told me, I saw that you took a step back when I told you why I was hoping he would win. I just want to tell you, I got some news that is really exciting for me, that there's a company that I partner with, and they've got a contract, but the contract only goes through if Donald Trump wins. What is this contract, you might ask, that only goes through if Donald Trump wins? Well, this contract is a series of immigration camps that's going to be built in South Texas. And I went, oh, immigration camps. And he said, you know, for vetting and processing immigrants. And I said, oh, that doesn't sound great. And he said, well, I don't really have to like work there, right? I'm just like partnered with the companies. So it's like life-changing money for me to partner with this company that's going to build immigration camps in South Texas. And I went, that's not really helping your case any. And he's like, well, I don't have to work there. Yuck. Yuck. And I went, well, you're helping to create it. Like, doesn't that make you feel bad? And he's like, no, I'm helping to protect people. I'm providing like the protection for the immigrants. And I'm like, do you mean the guards? Do you mean the guards at the concentration camps? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but not American citizens. They're not going to do... World War II, German and mainly Japanese Americans put into internment camps. Something that the Alien Enemies Act opened the door and made possible. That happened. That has happened before. If you think it can't happen again, you're a fool. They're planning to build camps. Vote accordingly.
Black women, I need you to start giving yourself the love and the respect and the protection that you try so hard to give everyone else. I'm not saying want. I need you to do these things. Prioritize yourself. Protect yourself. Love yourself. Everything that you have been trying to give everyone for so long, start giving it to yourself. Prioritize yourself. It is all about you right now. From now until forever, you are your main priority. And if I see you prioritizing anyone other than yourself, bitch, I might just slap the shit out you. I don't condone physical violence. Okay? I've never... don't condone physical violence. I've never been physically... that's not true. I've been in one fight my entire life. It was with a boy. He hit me first and I beat his ass. That's a whole nother story. I don't condone physical violence, but if I see a black woman prioritizing anything other than herself, I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to beat your ass. It'll be with love, I promise, with all the love in the world. But I am begging you, please start prioritizing yourself.
I absolutely hope that every single minority, black person, gay person, woman that voted for that man, I wish there was a way we could put y'all on the front lines so that y'all feel every single one of his policies first. That's only fair. You wanted to vote for a man that does not give a fuck about you or your rights. When time comes for Project 25 to be put into place, I hope y'all are first. People in my comment section are going to be like, Savannah, you can't just threaten people like that. That's a threat. No, it's not.
Hello, brothers and sisters. I hope you're well. I hope you've had the sentiment of those women and men, of course, as I said earlier, people add different motives to the people that they voted for. They voted for them because they felt like it's okay. The policies favored them. At the end of the day, people have different policies. Some people are voting for economy. Some people are voting for women's rights. Some people are voting to be considered while they have introducing their culture in the United States. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, again, this is what I'm going to say. This is not the time for blame games. That's just what I'll say. I know it's sad. I know. Honestly, I know how it feels. But this is the time to just accept Kamala Harris conceded. And everything was just cool. Life will move on. Maybe. Who knows? She will come back again and stand and win. Never give up, right? So all I'm trying to demystify in this video is that let's stop blaming one another. It won't help us. It won't. This is not the time to blame each other. But this is the time to stand for each other. Support each other. Because black people, you know very well, you've been the voice of the United States. Black women, you know the roles, the affirmative action that you've played during the civil rights movements, what you did. You can still do it, right? And I know you said that we don't want nothing to do with black men. Oh, Latinos did this to us. We don't trust them, right? So there's so much wrong. And this is how I feel, and I apologize if it might not go with everybody, that you cannot pay wrong with wrong. I know karma is a bitch, right? I know. But I feel like everyone is not safe. Look, even the people that voted for Trump, for instance, not for instance, because this is real, who tells you that he will deliver everything that he promised people? Who told you that he will deliver them? He will deliver them, right? So there's so much things that can go wrong. There's so much things that can go right at the same time. It's a world of possibilities. All I'm just asking you is to find a way of just finding a way of accepting, being contented, and looking for ways you could thrive. Now that there will be a couple of changes that are yet to happen, right? That's all I ask for you. This is not the time for us to blame each other. We can honestly do better. This is the time for us to stick together, right? I know I sound delusional because the people that I'm asking you to stick together are the people that disappointed you. I know. But we need each other at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So that's just that. Tell me how you feel about this in the comment section. These are Presenter Jindok Stories. Let me see you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.